Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. Today we're looking at something I think is really crucial. It's this fundamental shift in how we think about leading.
Yeah.
We're going from, the traditional control-focused leadership to something a lot more supportive.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to explore how this evolution, actually, there's a really insightful video presentation we've been digging into.
Right.
It highlights how crucial this is for creating organizations that can actually adapt,
Mm.
especially in the face of all this complex work we're all dealing with, and of course, AI coming into the picture more and more. So our goal today is to really get to the bottom of why this change is happening,
Yeah.
and more importantly, what it means for all of us out there doing the work.
I think the place to start is with the nature of work itself.
Yeah.
If you think about the earliest forms of leadership,
Way back.
it was all about like directing physical labor,
Yeah.
like just getting a group to, I don't know, lift something heavy.
Right, just pure muscle, just pure effort.
Effort.
Yeah.
Exactly. But as work has gotten more, I guess, sophisticated,
Yeah.
more complex,
Those twists and turns.
yeah, those command and control approaches just don't work.
They break down.
They break down
Yeah.
because all the easy problems, they've already been solved
Right.
or automated.
You're automated. Yep.
So now we're left with the really gnarly, complex ones.
Right.
And this shift in what we do has completely changed how we understand management.
Okay.
So think back to Theory X,
Okay.
emerged in the 1800s.
1800s. Okay.
And the assumption there was like people are just inherently lazy.
Oh, wow.
They need to be watched all the time.
Yeah.
Motivated externally,
Okay.
carrots instead.
Right.
So the takeaway here is this. Thinking people are naturally lazy just leads to them not caring.
Yeah, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Absolutely.
Like if you treat people like they're not motivated, they're not going to be motivated.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like that Theory X style came from this idea that leaders have to be like these strong figures constantly pushing their teams.
Right.
And it makes sense, that could create a toxic environment.
Totally.
Yeah.
That image of the like heroic leader
Oh, yeah.
overcoming everything through
The
force.
lone wolf leader.
Yeah. And it, unfortunately, it's still around.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely encountered it.
You see it.
Yeah.
Low trust.
Yeah.
No one feels empowered.
Right.
And then the Industrial Revolution comes along, doubles down on this.
Oh, yeah.
Mass production.
Yeah.
Everyone following the process to a T,
Yeah.
sometimes at the cost of like people's well-being.
Right. It was all about just maximizing that output,
Yeah.
treating people like parts in a machine.
Right.
And that's where Frederick Taylor comes in, right? With scientific management.
Yeah, he was all about boosting productivity.
Okay.
But what's interesting is, yes, it was about standardizing,
Mm-hmm.
super close supervision,
Almost like micromanagement.
like micromanagement.
Yeah.
But he also wanted to make workers more efficient and, theoretically, pay them better.
Interesting.
It was an attempt to balance results with the human element.
Okay.
Right. Right.
So it wasn't all about like squeezing every last drop out of folks.
Mm.
There was some thought about making the work better too.
Like making the work itself more efficient.
Right.
But looking back, what we see is, yeah, it was efficient,
Okay.
but only for specific tasks,
Yeah.
repeatable things.
Right.
Not a lot of wiggle room when things changed.
Super rigid.
Rigid.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Most of us aren't doing that kind of work anymore.
Right.
It's knowledge work.
Right.
You have to be able to adapt,
Right.
react to new info,
Yeah.
unexpected stuff.
Totally.
That old way just doesn't cut it in that kind of world.
You can't have a step-by-step guide for everything anymore. It's all about that adaptability. Okay, so what was next? Like, how did we start thinking differently about this whole work thing?
Well, then we see lean thinking come onto the scene,
Okay.
the Toyota production system.
Toyota, yeah.
They showed everyone that getting the people actually doing the work involved in improving things
Oh, interesting.
led to much better results than just like dictating everything from above.
This is huge. Like the idea that the folks on the ground who are actually doing the work every day, they have the best understanding of how it could be better.
Right.
That seems obvious now, but it was revolutionary at the time.
It was.
Yeah.
Lean recognized that the most valuable insights often come from those closest to the work.
Totally.
Frontline workers can see the inefficiencies, they can come up with solutions
If you let them.
if they have the opportunity.
Right, exactly.
This is the beginning of valuing collaboration, shared ownership,
Yeah.
respect for the individual in the process.
It's a big shift. We're starting to see people as more than just like, sets of hands.
Exactly.
But even with Lean, it was still very much about physical production, right?
Otherwise.
So how did we move to a leadership style that's more about like guiding, influencing, rather than just directing?
So that shift really picked up steam in the 80s.
Oh, participative management.
Participative management, okay. Thinkers like Peter Drucker, he was emphasizing distributing leadership,
Okay.
giving autonomy to knowledge workers
Yeah.
so they could tackle those complex problems.
Right.
Sharing authority.
Drucker was really on point, recognizing that knowledge workers, they have all this crucial information,
Right.
and leadership's role is to empower them.
Yeah.
And Warren Bennis, he played a big role too, right,
Big role.
in shaping how we see leadership.
He made a big distinction.
Yeah.
Leaders versus managers.
Okay.
Leaders inspire,
Yeah.
empower.
Right.
Managers control and organize.
Leaders-
He wasn't saying one was better,
Right.
but they're different functions.
Yeah.
And that inspiring, empowering part that was becoming so important for good leadership.
So it's not just about focusing on the tasks.
No.
It's about the needs of the people doing them
Right.
to achieve those goals.
Exactly.
And this really set the stage for what we see today with Agile and Lean.
It did.
Right.
Agile and Lean build on that foundation,
Okay.
giving us the tool, the perspectives that align with supportive leadership.
So the focus shifts to leaders empowering the teams,
Yeah.
getting rid of obstacles, fostering innovation.
Right.
Agile leadership especially, it throws out that command and control mindset.
Yeah.
It's all about inspiration, collaboration, empowering individuals.
And it recognizes those intrinsic
Yeah.
motivators. Right?
Yeah.
Like people want to do good work,
Right.
contribute without needing someone breathing down their neck all the time.
Exactly.
So leadership becomes less about telling people what to do,
Yeah.
more about setting them up for success.
Creating the right environment.
Yeah.
And at the same time all this is happening, organizational structures are changing too, right?
Yeah.
Like this further pushes the need for a different kind of leadership.
Matrix organizations.
Yeah.
Dotted line reporting.
Right. And a lot of this was driven by the need for like specific skills across all these different projects.
It was.
So you've got people reporting to multiple managers. It gets complicated.
It does.
Yeah, you can't just rely on like top-down authority anymore.
You can't.
You've got to build relationships.
You do.
Influence people.
Yeah.
To get things done.
And it requires shared accountability.
Right.
Across the organization.
Yeah.
Moving away from enforcing authority
Mm-hmm.
towards trust-based relationships.
And that's where servant leadership comes in.
Right.
Robert Greenleaf.
Yep. Well,
His work really brought this idea to the forefront, didn't it?
I did.
Drawing on his own experiences and that character, Leo, in Journey to the East.
Right.
It really articulated this vision of a leader who puts their team's needs and growth first.
Yeah.
High empathy.
Uh-huh.
Focus on serving others, not wielding power.
That's it.
And this is a key takeaway for you listening. Shifting from telling people what to do to enabling them unlocks so much potential.
It does.
Think about like one task you micromanage.
Right.
How could you reframe that
Yeah.
to support your team member instead?
Greenleaf, he emphasized truly understanding others' needs,
Yeah.
actively supporting their development. That's how you earn moral authority.
It's not just about your position.
It's not. It's about the trust you build.
Okay.
But that term, servant leadership,
Yeah.
it can be a little misleading, can it?
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
You know, it might make people think of like subservience, which isn't really the point.
It's not.
No.
Maybe supportive leadership is a better way to think about it,
I like that.
especially when you compare it to, like, commanding leadership.
Right. That contrast makes it really clear.
The idea is to empower others to lead,
Yeah.
put their needs front and center so they can reach their full potential.
It's about empowering the team to drive forward.
It is.
So this brings us to the idea of pull versus push in leadership.
Okay.
Can you break that down?
Sure.
What's the difference there?
So push leadership, that's your classic command and control.
Okay.
Pushing for compliance, execution,
Right.
but it risks overwhelming
Yeah.
processes,
Even whole system.
even whole systems.
Right.
Pole leadership, though, that's core to this supportive style.
Okay.
It cultivates engagement
Yeah.
through a shared vision,
Uh-huh.
a clear purpose,
Right.
and strong trust.
Okay.
It creates this environment where people want to seek support,
Right.
do their best.
Contribute. So instead of directing all the time, you're creating a space where the team feels comfortable coming to you for guidance, for new ideas.
Right.
It's way more collaborative.
Way more.
Okay, so to make this more concrete,
Yeah.
we can look at those 4 key aspects
Okay.
that underpin agile and supportive leadership.
Yeah.
The first is context.
Right.
The leader makes sure everyone understands the goals,
Uh-huh.
the why behind the work.
The purpose.
Yeah, so everyone's on the same page.
Exactly.
Shared understanding across all levels.
Yeah.
They know what they're working towards and why it matters.
That shared focus, that's essential.
It's huge for alignment.
It is.
Okay, what's the second one?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness, okay.
The leader's attuned to new challenges as they pop up,
Right,
understands what the team needs,
yeah.
adapts as necessary.
So it's about being present,
It is.
responsive,
Mm-hmm.
not just rigidly sticking to the plan.
No,
You got to see what's happening.
you do.
Adjust.
Adjust.
Yeah, be flexible. All right, number 3,
Respect.
respect. Okay.
The leader champions the team's growth.
Uh-huh.
Their empowerment
Okay.
encourages self-organization,
Yeah.
self-management.
So it's about recognizing their capabilities.
It is.
Trusting them to make decisions.
Yeah.
Contribute.
Seeing them as capable individuals
Right.
who can think for themselves.
Exactly.
And last but not least,
Number 4,
trust.
trust.
The leader builds that collaborative, psychologically safe space
Okay.
through vulnerability,
Yeah.
transparency.
Right. Being open and honest.
Exactly.
That takes emotional intelligence, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like self-awareness, empathy,
Mhm.
managing your own emotions. Well,
That psychological safety is so important
it is.
for teams to feel like they can experiment,
Right.
learn from mistakes,
Yeah.
come up with new ideas.
Innovate. Okay, so this supportive leadership style, it becomes especially important when we're dealing with complex work, right?
Absolutely.
Because for simple, predictable stuff,
Yeah.
a more directive approach might work.
It might.
But with complex work, knowledge-based work,
Right.
where the problems are always changing,
Mm-hmm.
you need creativity, specialized skills.
That top-down control approach, it just doesn't work.
It can actually hinder progress.
It can't.
Create bottlenecks.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
It's not going to work.
It's not.
Yeah.
You need to empower the people on the front lines.
Right.
Give them the ability to make decisions.
Like that in Kineon Cord System at Toyota.
Exactly.
Where any worker could stop the whole production line.
Yeah.
If there was a safety issue.
It's about increasing responsiveness, agility,
Right.
and those are crucial in today's world.
It's so fast-paced.
It is.
Yeah, the Kineon Cord example really shows the power of giving autonomy to the people closest to the work.
Right.
So would you say Agile has been a testing ground for this shift in leadership?
In some ways, yes.
Okay.
Agile has given companies a chance to step away from that strict command and control.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a work in progress for many.
It's a journey.
It is.
Yeah.
Waterfall, the old way, it still has its place
Okay.
for predictable projects
Yeah.
where you know exactly what to do.
Right.
But it's interesting, that kind of predictable work,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that's easy to automate with AI.
Oh, that's a good point.
So it might not be around for much longer.
Which brings us to AI
Right.
and the crucial role of supportive leadership in this new age of AI.
Absolutely.
If we don't have leadership grounded in these supportive principles,
Yeah,
AI could just become another way to control people,
it could.
which could have some really negative consequences
Absolutely.
for both employees and companies.
Yeah,
Supportive leadership, though, this offers a better path forward.
it does.
It's one where AI can be used to enhance creativity,
Yeah.
foster innovation, but still respect human dignity.
Right.
Leaders, they have to model empathy,
Yeah.
humility,
Yeah.
to make sure AI is integrated responsibly.
And ethically.
And ethically, yeah.
But that transition to supportive leadership, it's not always easy,
It's not.
especially for leaders who've been doing things the old way for so long.
It can be really challenging.
It can.
It requires empathy for those leaders. They
Yeah.
might be confused,
Mm-hmm.
even scared of this change.
Especially those with a lot of responsibility.
Exactly.
Because in Agile, the accountability for delivering the work
Yeah.
It shifts to the teams themselves.
Right.
It can take time for everyone to get on board with that.
Totally. It's a big shift in mindset,
It is.
not just for the leaders,
Yeah.
but for the teams too.
Leaders need to create the space for teams to learn,
Yeah.
experiment,
Right.
make decisions.
Even if they make mistakes along the way.
Of course, within reason.
Yeah, you don't want to cause irreparable damage.
But you have to let them try.
Right, exactly.
And the benefits, they're huge.
They are.
Leaders have time to focus on the bigger picture.
Okay.
Strategic stuff,
Yeah.
decisions happen faster,
Right.
action is taken quicker,
Yeah.
teams feel ownership,
Uh-huh.
they're more accountable.
Because it's their plan,
It's their plan,
not the manager's plan.
not anymore.
Right.
And from a leadership perspective,
Yeah.
it's about trusting the team.
Yeah.
They'll get it done,
Even if it's not exactly how you would have done it.
even if it's not exactly how you do it.
And being there to support them,
Mm-hmm.
guide them
When they need it.
when they ask for it.
Exactly.
So the key shift for leaders is going from being accountable for doing the work to being accountable for enabling the work.
Yes,
And that requires a company-wide understanding.
it does.
Everyone has to be on board with that shift in accountability.
And leaders need to build trust, psychological safety,
Right.
by being vulnerable.
They're being real.
Sometimes just saying, I don't know.
That's so powerful.
It is.
It humanizes leadership, encourages the team to step up,
To contribute their expertise.
share their ideas.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do we measure the success of this transition to supportive leadership?
We need to look beyond those traditional KPIs,
Okay,
the ones that just measure efficiency and output.
right.
We need people-centered indicators.
Okay.
Things like team well-being,
Uh-huh.
growth, individual and collective,
Right.
engagement,
Yeah.
innovation,
Okay.
how well they solve problems,
Mm-hmm.
and the sustainability of their progress.
So it's a much broader view of performance,
It is.
recognizing that people are crucial to long-term success.
Absolutely.
And emotional intelligence, that becomes essential for leaders in this model
It does.
to support teams well,
Yeah.
rather than trying to control them.
You need empathy,
Huh.
self-awareness,
Right.
collaboration skills.
It's about truly caring for the people you lead,
It is.
understanding them.
Yeah.
So for those in middle management, project management, who are still stuck in that old task management mode,
Yeah,
there's a message here, isn't there?
there is.
What would you say to them?
That way of thinking is becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
AI is coming for those tasks.
Right.
They need to embrace agile,
Okay.
supportive leadership
To stay relevant.
to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah. To succeed in the future of work.
Exactly.
This shift, it really benefits everyone.
It does.
Moving away from that control-driven environment,
Yeah.
creating one where teams can thrive,
Innovate.
leaders become context providers,
Yeah.
supporting innovation,
Yeah.
adaptation.
Not just giving orders.
Right.
It's about building trust,
Yeah.
respect,
Mindfulness.
shared context.
So everyone's aligned, and we avoid those pitfalls of just using AI as a digital taskmaster.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
the final thought for you listening is this. Think about how embracing the shift towards supportive leadership can unlock the potential in your teams.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare your organization for the future,
Yeah.
a future that's shaped by complex work.
Right.
AI.
AI.
What's one small step you can take today
Yeah.
to create a more supportive environment?
What can you change?
And if you want to dig deeper into all of this,
Yeah.
check out the links in the description.
The source material.
Yeah, explore this fascinating evolution of leadership.
It's really worth a look.
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us,
Thanks for having me.
and we'll catch you next time.
See you then.